Good day, everyone. It's Jody from An Eye for Beauty, and today is Sunday, October 17th, 2021. And this message is for the week of October 17th, or whenever it is that you're hearing this message. As always, know that these messages, if you're looking at them, there's something in them that you need to hear for your highest good, and it could be relevant to this time right now, or it could be relevant to whenever it is that you're hearing it. So we're going to do a 3-card spread today. So decide now if you want to go with card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3. And I'm pulling the cards as I'm speaking to you. And I just want to remind you that I also do personal readings. So if you're someone that's listening to these messages and is not local and hasn't been a client of mine, please feel free to go on my website, aneyeforbeauty.com. And you can go into the section where you can ask to have a reading done. And I do readings and Reiki healings virtually as well as in person. And we're going to start with card number 1. And card number 1 is asking you to let go of any guilt that you may be carrying right now. So we all make mistakes. That's part of living life. And sometimes through life, we look back at the past mistakes that we've made, and we still carry a level of guilt. And until you really fully feel your feelings and feel the emotions that rise up, they might be deeply embedded in the chakras or in some part of your joints or your muscles or an organ or some part of the physical body, because there is still a level of guilt that you are carrying. And so the card says, when you allow your light to shine brightly, you inspire others. Forgive yourself for what you think you've done or not done, and trust that God loves you unconditionally for who you are. Learn and grow from your past mistakes instead of berating yourself for doing them. And especially in the time that we're in right now, there are many that have made a decision that they regret. And even if it's a job that you chose and you decide now this was not the right job for me, why did I choose this? Or a relationship that you had been in, and then you say, why did I get in that relationship? And that one I can totally relate to, being someone who is now a single mother. But what I often have to bring myself back and say, and everything is fine now in the relationship, we get along fine, but in that time of tumultuous stuff going on, I had to remind myself that there is a reason for everything. And of course, the reason is my children, but there was definitely lessons for me as well. So if you're in one of those arenas right now, and we're sitting still in Mercury retrograde, and this is a retrograde in the sign of Libra, and in the sign of Libra, we're looking at our relationships, especially just coming off of the new moon, and we're saying, especially in past relationships, you know, maybe I hold a level of guilt in a certain relationship. And a relationship can not only be with like a partner, it could be with a friendship, it could be in your parent relationships, your children relationships, your work relationships. It's just looking at and noticing, where did I maybe make a mistake? And in the past, maybe you are a person that constantly said, I made a mistake, and then you judged yourself, and then you held a lot of guilt. If you chose card number 1, now is the time for you to kind of switch it. I want to just say switch it, but it's not that easy. So it's a process. Everything is a process. So if you're a person that was always holding guilt, you have to let go of it. So start working on that process of letting go of the guilt that you're carrying. Maybe being the witness of, by observing what is coming up, feeling and emotion-wise, so that you can understand where the guilt is even coming from to begin with. That's card number 1. Card number 2 is have courage to and accept help. Okay? So if I am putting these cards together, well, I'm going to do that in the end, because this is just overall for the entire human collective. This is a lesson from past, present, future, if I read the cards that way. But right now we're going to look at this just as card number 2. Have courage and ask for help. Asking for help is a sign of strength, as is accepting it as it is offered to you. Very often when you ask God for help, prayers are answered through the people that he brings toward you. Be sure to accept this assistance as well as give it to others as you are guided. This is kind of hard because I really want to put these cards together, because if you look at the past and the person held guilt, and now this card is saying, have courage and accept help. Well, when you're holding a lot of guilt, and let's just take as an example, what keeps coming to me is a relationship. If you're holding a relationship that you had in the past, maybe you were married and you're like, why did I marry this person? Maybe the person was a narcissist and now you're dealing with a lot of stuff. After that process of learning how to release the guilt, or just acceptance is a big thing. Accepting that you were in that relationship for a reason. The next step is asking for and or allowing in support. Support to guide you, support to build your self-confidence, support to build your self-respect, support to build your strength as you get through it. And a lot of times people are just like, no, I'm good. I'm fine. Everything's good. I am good. I got out of that relationship and I am good. But it's not that simple. I just watched on Netflix, and if you haven't watched it, it is actually about a single mother who goes through a domestic violent relationship, emotional violence. And she has a very hard time accepting help. And that is one of the key factors of this whole movie, is that there are people that do come and want to help her, but she won't allow it in. And in her case, I just think that she just didn't know how. In many cases, it's ego coming in and saying, I don't need help, I'm fine. It's okay not to be fine. And it's okay to accept help. And it is courageous to stand up and accept it, or to say, I need help. So whatever you are going through right now, whether it is something personal or the actual stuff going on in the world, if you feel that you are not supported and you need support, ask for help. There is so much strength in asking for help. In society, has been taught, another system being broken down, is that if you need help, you're weak. And that's so far from the truth. It's actually the opposite. If you ask for and receive in the help, you are strong. Why are you strong? Because you have so much self-awareness to be able to realize that you need guidance and support. The angels are all around us all the time, and God and all of his spirit beings of divine white light. Are you giving them permission to allow you in? Because support is not just earthly support. Support is also the support around us behind the veil, or if we lift the veil on the other side, your ancestors that want to come in and help you. But if you don't allow them to come in, they can't help you, because we have free will and we need to give them permission. Now think about what I just said. We have free will and we need to give them permission. Well, don't you think that that is actually also a concept that needs to be going fluidly through the world right now? And it's not. Because right now in the world, we have another system of this control and manipulation, which is narcissistic in relationship, that we have allowed for far too long, and we need to stop allowing it. You can look back at all of the different scenarios in history, because we can't erase history no matter how many people want to erase it. It is part of who we are. It is part of the legacy of who we are up until 2021. You can't erase it. It has got us to where we are today. But if you think about what I said, we have free will to decide what is best for ourselves. That is something that we need to not only look at and say with regards to the angelic realm, the spirit guide realm, but also the earthly realm, the one that we live on right now. So if you chose card number 2 and you are going through something, anything, it's time for you to start allowing in support and help. And then card number 3 is do the work. And I'm going to read you the card first. It's not enough to dream or pray. You've also got to take the positive action steps that you're being divinely guided to take. Consistently working on your priorities will make them flourish like a flower garden. So what is it that you think that you are supposed to be doing right now? And are you doing the work? That could simply be, and I know I say this a lot, but it can simply be doing the inner work. So in card number 2, I asked you to have more courage to ask for support. Perhaps that support is angelic support. And now card number 3 is saying do the work. Are you making the time to sit quietly with yourself? Are you making the time to notice that when you feel agitated, or when you feel triggered, or when you feel something is bothering you, or is aggravating you, or is frustrating you, are you taking the time to look at what is occurring and deciding why it's bothering you? Is it bothering you because you feel out of alignment, out of balance? Is it bothering you because you don't want to feel it? It's very uncomfortable. Is it bothering you because you're too focused on all of what is going on around you that you're not really focusing as much on yourself? Another thing with society is that we're so ingrained to take care of everybody, codependency, that we take care of ourselves last. Why? It is very selfless for you to begin to take care of yourself first before you take care of anybody else. And if you think about when you go on the airplane and you have to put on that oxygen mask on your face before you should even put it on your child's face, that is symbolic in and of itself. And I remember when I first heard that, I thought, that's crazy. I'm going to do it for my kids first, then me, until I started doing this work. It's not crazy. The best thing you could do for yourself is really take good care of yourself, because you're also a role model to others around you, to be a leader to others around you. And when I say leader, I did air quotes, because leader doesn't mean, oh, I'm better than you, I'm the leader. No, you're just leading others. You're helping others. And maybe in your family, that's, as a mother, you're a leader. So you have to think of it that way as well. And children soak up and watch everything that their parents are doing. So if your children are watching you constantly taking good care of yourself in all aspects, physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional, that is a well-balanced approach to health. So if you have not been doing the work, or if you want to be doing the work, now is the time, because this is what card number 3 says. And then finally, just to complete this, if I'm looking at the cards past, present, future, we have let go of guilt, past. Present is have the courage to ask for help, present. And future is do the work, future. And so in the world, we've all been carrying a level of guilt for whatever is going on. And we're at this place right now where if we're struggling, we really need to ask for help. We really need to ask for support. It's important right now to be bringing everyone together. This is non-denominational, but I'm going to share. In the Bible, one of the 10 Commandments says, love thy neighbor. And love doesn't mean placate your neighbor or just do what they want so that they think you're kind and generous and nice. That's not what it means. What it means is love your neighbor. So sometimes that means tough love. And you might have to help your neighbor by having the courage to accept help from them or show them that you are willing to help them. And right now, in terms of the word unity, that's what we need. More of that coming together. It doesn't matter who did what to their bodies. What matters is bringing everybody together so we are all connected, all one, all having the courage to stand up for our free will. And that's what do the work is. That's doing the work. It's coming together, standing up for one another, loving one another. And of course, it's the inner work as well. So I hope that this message served you for this week, and I wish you a great day. Bye-bye.